Hi, everybody. Oh, there we go. I just got this new little phone holder for my desk. Shit. So I'm using it for the first time. Hey, everyone. Okay, I have my hoodie on because my hair is like really gross today. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry, let me pull up the chat really quick. Thanks for joining. So today's story theme is sick. So I'm going to be telling stories that take place in hospitals or about people who... Oh, that's my voice. Hey, Sarah Paez, Amy the Werewolf, Jane Henry, Natalia, Oreo Powers, blah, 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 blah. Holy crap, over 1,000 people. Sorry, that's the most people that's ever joined a stream for me, so that's nuts. So usually I start with a spooky riddle, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I couldn't find a good one today, so not doing a riddle, but we are doing another, or 5 stories. I forget. Whatever. Oh, so you guys like my Discord sweater? Slaytrix is partnered with Discord. So if you want to... Oh, there was a super chat and I missed it. Oh, God. Cody Hernandez, love your channel. Thank you. Sorry, what was I saying? Oh, wow, I'm really not good today, guys. So Discord is partnered with Slaytrix, which is Snarled's gaming channel. I am on Discord, so like if you guys want to message me, or Courtney, or I almost said Danielle, Dana from Slaytrix, we're all on Discord. So you can come message us and send us messages. I clearly know how Discord works. I mean, if you guys know what like Slack is or Skype is, it's kind of like that. It's just like a big old chat and you can come join. The link to that is, I don't know if it'll pin it, but it's discord.gg/snarled, I believe. But yeah, so if you want to come talk to us, do it. Sometimes I stream games and I ask you guys what to play. Cool, that's enough about that. Yeah, so... Oh no, missing all these super chats. Craft and Stuff says, you're awesome. You're possessive awesome. Thank you. Alright, guys, ready for your first story? Cool. And thanks for joining on this Wednesday afternoon. It's a little rainy outside where I am. I don't know how it is for you guys. Cool. All right. This first story comes from Kimberly. Okay. Hey, Sapphire. My name is Kimberly, and I have an interesting story that happened when I was in 4th grade. Here's the story. My family and I... Oops. Sorry, I'm moving the chat up there. Okay. My family and I went to a small Chinese hospital because my uncle's arms and legs were paralyzed. As I was there, I noticed old women and men. They looked about 60 and over. My sister, mom, and I needed to go to the restroom, so we went to look for the nearest one. There was a long line, but we waited anyway. Uh-oh. Missed it. Oh, God. Luna Gamer says, I really like your videos. I texted a scary story. You texted me? Like on my phone? Oh, God, I hope not. I hope you don't have my number. You have to... I don't know where that story is then. No. Cool. My sister, mom, and I needed to go to the restroom, so we went to look for the nearest one. There was a long line, but we waited anyway. I patiently stared at the restroom door and saw an old lady go in. I waited again until the restroom door opened again. A man who looked like he was in his 30s came out, not the old lady. I swear that I didn't see that old lady come out or didn't see that man waiting in the line. I looked around to see if anybody noticed too. I told my mom, and she also noticed, but nobody else seemed to have noticed it too. I'm a huge fan of something scary. Thank you for sharing stories and creepypastas. I hope you will share my story. Well, Kimberly, your wish has come true. I shared your story. What do you guys think about that? I feel like that's actually another common phenomenon where like you see a person. Sorry, there's like the hair that's in my eyes. Sorry. But yeah, that's a pretty common thing where like you see somebody go in a room and then like you don't see them come out or whatever. So like that's pretty creepy. Oh, as an email. Oh. Luna Gamer says as an email. Oh, okay. I'll have to look it up then. If you guys want to send me a story, the email address is somethingscary@snarled.com. I check that email for stories for the show Something Scary or for this live stream. So yeah, there's many places where I can share your story. So send them in. I get a lot of emails a day, so I'm really sorry if I can't respond to you right away. So please be patient with me. Megan Tennis is here. Everybody shut up. Hi, Megan. So I know that there's been some confusion about the state of, wow, this thing is real wobbly. Sorry about that. I know that there's some confusion and weirdness about the state of the channel right now. So just like really quick, wanted to like address it. Nobody was fired. People are like, you know, there's no like ill will going on. It's just that, you know, Snarled was no longer able to have Rachel and Megan on full time. It's purely for financial reasons. We love Rachel and Megan, obviously, and they're still not going anywhere. I mean, they are still doing live streams every week. Rachel's on Mondays, Megan's is on Thursdays. And even though they may not be doing stuff for Snarled in the future, they're going to be doing stuff on their own personal channels. I believe Rachel is starting her own, a separate one. I don't know what the address is because I don't think that she's made it yet. But Megan also has a YouTube channel, and I believe it's, Megan, you're gonna hate me, I don't know what it is. It's /Megan10, yes? Tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so go follow them on Instagram and Twitter for updates on their life. They're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. But yeah, so please continue to support them, even though they're no longer on Snarled. As I hope that you will still continue to support. Oh, shoot. Megan, where'd you go? It should be Megan 10, yes. Okay, cool, yes, I was right. I was correct. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that so that you guys knew what was going on. There hasn't been like an official like announcement yet, but I think because it's like, what are you gonna say? Anyways, that's that. You guys ready for your next story? Okay, thank you, Kimberly. Let me move this one to used stories. Cool. Boom. All right, this one comes from no name. Oh, Tanasia Henderson. All right, Tanasia. My mother had just gotten back from a cabin Valentine's Day trip, and something terrifying happened. My mother and her friends' husbands weren't coming back until the next day. They decided to cook shrimp. After eating my mother's hands swelled and throat closed. She went to her room. She thought it was an allergic reaction. She laid in her bed and heard laughter. Then a lady appeared over her and tried to strangle her. Her friends rushed upstairs and they looked at her confused. They clearly couldn't see the lady. So they get her out of the bed and rush her to the car. I'm so out of breath. The nearest place for help was 20 minutes away, and it took them 4 phone calls to get hold of an ambulance. Then she blacked out. She woke up in the hospital. Later, the doctor told her she had no signs of an allergic reaction, so she continued their trip. My mother would see the lady again and again, so she did some research. In the cabin they stayed in, there was a legend. A woman killed her child in that cabin by strangling them, and it happened in her room. Okay. So when I first, Penny Payne says, hug yourself, loves from me. Aw, thank you, Penny Payne. This is a hug from Penny Payne. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Andrea Espinoza, I love your vids, and what happened to the riddle? Yeah, so I didn't do a riddle because I just couldn't find one that I liked today. I always try to find a riddle that like sort of fits with the theme, and like I couldn't find one, and then I forgot. So sorry. Yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, when I read this story, I immediately thought it was kind of like it had like bits and pieces of like a bunch of different something scary episodes, like the eating the shrimp and getting an allergic reaction. That's from the episode where with Elizabeth Wettlaufer, that serial killer in Canada who basically fed this kid shrimp that was cooked in peanut oil, knowing that he was allergic, and then he like almost dies. And then the end part about the woman strangling her kids in a cabin, that reminds me of the haunted cabin story that I did recently. Yamaj says, may God bless you with all the memes. Oh, I hope so. I need all the memes. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys thought of that story. But thank you, Tunisia. I'm sorry it took me forever to figure out how to pronounce your name. All right, next story comes from Kale, but it's spelled like Kaoull. So I don't know. When I was 4 years old, I used to live with my two brothers, mom, and father. Ever since I turned 4, I had a friend that would come to play. Oh, I hate it already. The boy I played with had round, droopy eyes, small ears, black short hair, and always wore red overalls. He was very young and seemed the age 7. One day, the boy told me, whoa, there are exactly 666 people watching, and I want someone to screenshot it for me. Thanks. Oh no, now it's 671. You missed it. We were playing one day and he had a bag full of needles. He said to stick one into each of my eyes to be like him. I was an eager 4-year-old, so I said yes. I put the needles into my eyes. I heard my door open and a scream followed by it. My vision went dark and I woke up the next day in a hospital with my family. The doctor said that I luckily survived. Inside those needles were heroin and cocaine. To that day, I never talked to Robbie again. I'm a huge fan of Snarled, and this will be a volume for imaginary friends. Sorry for bad grammar, and here's how to pronounce my name. Oh, okay, cute. Well, thank you, Kale. I have a lot of questions about that. So if this is an imaginary friend or if it's a ghost, where the F did you get those needles? Because those needles were very real. So that means like, okay, so like did a ghost kid have these like physical real needles and then just like gave it to you? And then those needles had drug. I think you would be dead. Like if you inject drugs into your eyeballs. I don't know. This story doesn't check out, guys. But yeah, but I liked it. Potato Smashed says, I'm in the hospital right now because I have pneumonia. Please send memes. Abdul Hazal, bisexual vamp. Project number 436. Sorry, my thing is shaky. All right. You guys ready for another story? Okay. Move this one to used stories. Gotta stay organized. All right, this next one comes from Jason. Here we go, Jason. Oops. Jason Cock. Oh, sorry. That's not Coach. I don't know how to say it. I think they need more Jesus. Thanks for the spoop, says Dawn Grace. Oh yeah, if you guys want to super chat literally means, like if you've been seeing those comments that are colored popping up, you can pay a tiny amount of money, like a couple bucks, and then your comment gets highlighted, and then I am legally obliged to read it. Yeah, that's the only way that I will for sure give you a shout out. Otherwise, I'm going to look it over. Sorry. All right, ready for this next story? My name's Jason. I'm currently 13. I don't usually get paranormal experiences, but my dad told me this story from when I was younger, and I realized how creepy it was. My great-grandma, who was 84... Ooh! Kimberly Kruger says, can I get a shout-out? Love your vid so much. Thank you, Kimberly Kruger. You sound like Freddy Krueger, and that's cool. There had been weird things ever since he died. We once heard my grandma talking to someone asking them not to leave, and when we entered the room, nothing was wrong. She said her husband was talking to her. This, however, is the only experience I've had. When I was 3, I had an active imagination. At least, that's what I'm told. Talking to myself was never anything out of the ordinary, but my dad got suspicious when I was in the basement all alone asking actual questions and having a full-on conversation. I was asking things like, which boom is your favorite? And how long will you be here? My dad eventually came down and asked what I was doing. When he did, he saw toys and books scattered along the floor and me sitting down staring at a wall laughing. He pulled me upstairs and asked who I was talking to. I simply responded, the grandpa. I was talking to the grandpa. This wasn't good enough of an answer. He questioned me again and again until I broke down and kept screaming that it was the man with the gray hair. My grandma heard the whole conversation and came over with a picture of my grandpa. Is this him? She asked. I just shook my head yes, and it ended there. Nothing weird happened until I was 5 on Christmas Eve. My grandma went out to smoke and I followed. In the creek in the backyard, we saw a tall black figure staring back at us. The current in the creek was too powerful for a human to stand so still in it, and the water was too cold. We called out to it to no response. Recently, I realized what all of this was. My backyard was a hospital in the War of 1812. I know now that that man likely wasn't my grandpa. And that comes from Jason. I have a bunch of questions. How do you know... What? Oh, sorry. How do you know that it was a hospital during the war? There was no clues that led to that unless you're leaving some stuff out, and I would like to know. So I need to follow up with you, Jason. But thank you for sending your story. Cool. Let me look at the chat real quick. AO Does Games says town records. True. That is one way you could figure that out. But how does one even do that? I don't know. It doesn't check out. All right. This is our last story, everybody. Okay. This one comes from the Grim Reaper. I kid you not. That is the email. So we're all gonna die after this story. All right, here we go. From the Grim Reaper. I think you'll be interested in this story. This happened a few years ago. I was probably 9 or 10. I can't remember. I was visiting my grandma and my sister at her farm. This was back before I moved in with my dad. Oop, Anna Chavaria says, I have a story and can I have a shout out? Yes, you can. What's up, Anna Chavaria? I don't know how to say her name. Anna Chavaria. Sure. And if you have a story, email it to me at somethingscary@snarled.com. It is free to do so. And I love reading your stories, so feel free to do that. Where did it go? My grandma's farm is more up north of North Dakota. It's 5 miles from the Canadian border. It's a very nice house, but very old. I'm not sure how old, but the furniture looks decades old, and most beds look like ones from 1920s hospital beds, except 4 in 4 different rooms. I don't know what that means. My grandma gave each room its own name. There's one room that is entirely pink, named the pink room, and one entirely blue, named the blue room. They were across the hall upstairs of the house, and down the hall is a small room from what? With a bathroom across the hall. All the rooms in the house, but one stands out more. The pink room. One of the rooms with the really old hospital beds, but it's bigger, almost a queen but smaller. My sister and I shared that room for a year or two whenever we visited the farm. I remember I was awake one night sharing the pink room with my sister. I was the only one awake. The room has a small closet across the room. what? With an armoire and a mirror. In the corner is a rocking chair, and next to the bed is another closet and a small nightstand. This room scares me. During the night, I believe it was an hour or two after midnight, I was hearing weird noises from the closet across the room. The windows were shut and locked, so it wasn't the wind. I wasn't too worried, but then I saw a strange figure in the rocking chair. Oop, Luna Gamer, can you tell my story in a live stream, or this one I will email it? I mean, I'm wrapping up soon, so you have to just email it to me, and I will get to it when I can. Sorry. Great, I lost my spot again. I wasn't too worried, but then I saw a strange figure in the rocking chair. It was a woman. Her hair was in a bun and was wearing an old dress. She looked young, like early 20s young. I was terrified. I didn't want to move. Scared I was going to wake my sister. I closed my eyes for a few minutes and I wanted to see if she was gone. She wasn't. In fact, she wasn't alone. A small boy and another girl was right next to my bed on my side. I was so scared. Neither of the figures looked at or bothered me. None of them spoke. I knew this wasn't my mind playing tricks because they were moving. The boy was playing on the ground while the other girl, looked about a teenager, was standing in the corner. The woman was still rocking back and forth in the chair before finally the boy looked at me. I stared back. I couldn't move. I remember the boy wearing ragged overalls, no shoes, and no socks. I don't remember the teenage girl that well, but I do remember her whispering things I couldn't make out. The next morning, I didn't tell my grandma until later in the afternoon with my dad. He came by to pick us up and take us back to my mom with my sister. They laughed, and my sister said she saw nothing. I felt like an idiot. Last year, my family had a reunion at the farm. I told my grandma's sisters and her aunt. They said the woman was probably their great-grandma or aunt, I can't remember, but had no idea who the children were. Ever since that day, I felt watched or followed. Ooh, spooky, spooky. Thank you, Grim Reaper. Yeah, that's crazy. Let me look at this chat real quick. Ella Clark, what's the email address again? Everybody, here's the email address. Something scary at snarled.com. And then try to use try to give the subject line a kind of descriptive thing so I know kind of I get an idea of like what it's about. Yeah, so that's it. That's our stream for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm doing this every Wednesday, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. If you didn't buy Snarled merch, it's too late. Or is it? I'm not sure. Go to this website, store.snarled.com. Subscribe to Snarled if you haven't already. And I think that's it. Oh, and join our Discord. Thank you, Discord, for this sweet hoodie. It's discord.gg/snarled. I accept everyone's friend request who requests me on Discord. So, be my friend. All right. Bye, everybody. Ooh. That was a burp, but then it wasn't. Have a great day.